Okay, as you can see, no time to waste. This is a very nice hand. It's not obviously the grossest or the maximum, but there's a few other things going on, right? So one with Crouching Tiger. This is a curiosity of mine. We have 2 procs of the Shifting Wind. So if I were to name these Crouching Tiger, right? Does that now count that it's 3 Crouching Tigers? So this is the first one I'm playing on the chain. So we'll just do 1 Crouching Tiger into a Tiger Swipe and we'll see what happens. Right, so it's actually been double named. That's why I had to click it twice. So pass, let it resolve. And then we'll Tiger Swipe from the Banish Zone just to make it easier on me. Pass, let it resolve. And we get ourselves back only 1 Tiger. Okay, so that is good to know, right? Because it's, alright, it's control, not name. But in the situation of 100 wins, that's where it becomes interesting. Because if I were running 100 wins in this, and I used said naming mechanic and named it twice, then what's the go, right? Because 100 wins has the wording, for each 100 wins you control, no, it is control, never mind. But each named, each other card named, yeah, so I can only proc once. Either way, we're using the Shifting Winds for the 2 Crouching Tigers more than anything. But yeah, we might as well play out this hand, see what the damage is. I'm pretty sure it's not the... There's another Zen floating around. It was an insane amount of damage. Not the max though, so we want the max. Doing Crouching Tiger a few times. Yeah. Slightly annoying, we have to go through this every time. In person, I could just go to 100 wins. 777. 100 wins. Into another one. Into the Tiger Swipe. Get back the Crouching Tigers. Realistically, you should keep 1, right? So that's in case your opponent actually defends. You've got the other one for the other Tiger Swipe. We also only have, as you can see, 2 of the Tiger Swipes, not 3. I've tried to make the draw consistent. Can I just pass the naming? No, but I can just do like that, 10,000 year. That's interesting. 10,000 years, another fun one. There's actually way too many ways to cheat it out, in my opinion. We'll get to that. That was wrong. Oof. And we'll just do how we got here, and then we'll tweak the deck and try to make it bigger. Another massive hand. So even just with 2 Tiger Swipes, this is fairly disgusting. Yeah. Okay. So much damage. 144, right? We'll go to the start of the turn. So, what are we running? No setup is basically the big thing for me, right? So nothing in the arsenal. We haven't had to have taken a turn or anything like this. This is just straight up turn 1, right? So cash out so we can proc the homage. Get rid of the crown, get rid of the gloves, and the daggers. So now this is enough silver to make all of the cash-ins. No, cash out? No, cash in. Positive draw, right? We have gold for 1, and then 4 silver for the other, and then 1 silver to cycle, which does help too. We now play any of the Transcend cards since we've played cash outs, so we don't have to have 2 of them in hand. We can also gain the resource. No, that's a misstep. Don't gain the resource, right? Because we want to play Shifting Winds. So no to gaining the resource, unfortunately. Then Shifting Winds so we can pitch the chi. And now both floating are chi, so that is something important to remember. We can do that, draw 2 and buff. And we can get rid of a Crouching Tiger. We get cash and we get Stir the Pot. Stir the Pot generates chi and a resource. The resources would then be 1 red, 1 blue. I wonder if Talishare will update to enable you to actually see. But we will pay with the gold. See what else we get. We get another cash in. We get the Sacred Art. We're looking for more of the Shifting Winds. And I am curious if I misplayed this previously. Apparently we're destroying all the cash ins. So we can spend the chi, unfortunately. By Sacred Art, I pitch a Klloo. Trying to think how I get around, or try to save chi for the other Shifting Winds. It's probably just Stir the Pot into the Sacred Art, generating the resources. That'll still allow me to float. But the easy out here is just Roar of the Tiger. Doesn't cost anything. Then Art of War. Banish, buff. Get rid of a Crouching Tiger. We draw into Rising Sun, another Tiger Swipe. So we also need to use Zen, right? Because I don't want to draw the last Tiger Swipe, I want to banish it. So Rising Sun is probably the correct call. So we can see what we get. It's another roll. Put a Tiger Swipe to the bottom, so we know that's at the bottom. We can use Zen whenever we have the resources left. Gain a resource. We don't actually have draw anymore. Well, we have 1 silver for drawing. So there's the shifting. I can't remember if we're floating chi or not, right? And this is where the confusion's really going to come into. No, we're not. The 1 resource we were floating was not chi. So in that scenario, you want to clear the stack. God. This can get so convoluted. No, if we go stir... No. So this is the big issue for me, right? So we have 2 resources, but if I play Sacred Art, I pitch the inner chi, I don't float chi, I float the resources, all 3 will be consumed by the Sacred Art. So I wish they reversed the priorities. But it does make it a bit of a conundrum to think about what you need to do. Either way, there is stuff missing from this combo and I want to add to it. So I didn't grab the tenants. Levels of alignment is just something I just always think you could probably throw into any Mystic deck, right? 1 cost for draw again, and just pushing damage, so that seems good enough. I mean, obviously it's can be a detriment, but since we have the 12, it can also clear that for us. There's only being more targets for Art of War if we want to save the Tigers for actual Tiger swiping. But I do like levels of alignment in this. Don't think you bother with Tome. Miss any other good draw. The other Tenant would be the only other one to take, right? Because you could attack and use that to draw first. And it's when this attacks, draw a card, which makes it really nice. So it's a free cycle card. For consistency's sake, in a bigger deck, that's probably what you'd end up taking. Yeah, anyway. Let's see if we can just get it to work. Cash and start, raw, rising sun, and levels. So that is nice. Let's still always go positive. Right, cash and gold. 100 wins and a tiger swipe. This unfortunately is a dead end. Maybe the levels is wrong. At least for the combo sake that we're doing. 100 wins also might be a little greedy. But it's definitely what you need for max damage. Just how many 100 wins could I fit in? That's the question. Alright, so Art of War, stir the pots, and 100 wins. Not the best start. We'll see what we do. Do that. Get rid of 100 wins. This is a raw, which pays for the other one. It's fine. We'll cash in to restock our hand. I don't like that we have the combo pieces. Yeah, and do another raw and a shifting. So it's definitely Dreamland shenanigans. It's still something to strive for. Alright, this is kind of better, right? Because we can cash out. And that's our blue. So now we can play anything. We can even recycle the cash out if we wanted. Probably want to save that to hit something better. We'll do Rising Sun first. We get Homage. So it's not draw. But basically we can go positive in hand thanks to all the Transcend. We'll put Preserve away. We will gain the resource, definitely. We'll Homage. Gain the resource, gain the resource, and sacrifice one of our silver. So even though we shuffled, we still hit preserve. Fantastic. And we can expend the silver, because there are just ways to generate enough resources for cash in where you don't have to have the silver. So maybe we get lucky. It looks like we're not. No Art of War, no draw whatsoever. Yeah. Did you put the tenants in? Yeah, it is there. We could also absolutely cheat the hand, in all honesty. Just use manual mode if we want to clearly see. But I think it's funner actually getting the cards, making it seem achievable. 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 6, 7 of 25 cards. I mean, almost every time we should start with one. Just getting bad rolls. Yeah. And I can get tigers off these two, but then I can't draw. I don't have enough resources. I guess we can see what the next card is. Alright, the resource. It's the gold. I should be floating one normal, one chi, so this should still work. It doesn't. Okay, that's actually good to know too. So, if a chi was pitched to play this is the conundrum to me, right? Because they... God. Chi and inner chi are two different things. And I think LSS really should have picked better naming conventions, right? So... This doesn't say if an inner chi was pitched to play this, it says if chi was pitched to play this, right? And the new ruling with time to transcend and the article that's just come out is that this inner chi generates 3 chi, and that chi can be floated, but it has to be spent before red resources. So in the scenario we just had, we had 1 red and we pitched an inner chi for 3 blue. We end up using 2 of said blue, and it should have left us with 1 red and 1 blue that then would have counted for that if chi was pitched, right? So we'll have to see if that does get changed, because it is a little annoying what the exact ruling is. So in this scenario, we just have to cash in off the silver instead and hope that we generate chi a different way, which we do. We have preserved tradition. We do that. Banish buff. Hit the crouching tiger. It's also wrong then. I need to clear this. So it's preserve. Hit the cash in. Generate the resource. Use the chi. Use the resources. Empty it. Yeah, and now we can go... No, it still won't count. We can play 1 with the chi, though. We can do that. We'll get the 2 tigers from it. You can then Art of War. Get rid of a tiger. Hit raw, hit shifting. Again, this is the issue, because now shifting... Technically, the resource left here should be blue, but it's red, right? I mean, I can manually give me the crouching tigers if I really want, but this hand is in the drawer anyway. Oh, that's a better start. Okay. Always cashing off the gold. The other tiger swipe will be upset. No. Unfortunately, we can't get 3 cards because we have no chi. Maybe I am wrong in taking the 100 wins. Maybe I'm being a bit too greedy. You know what we'll do? We'll remove them. No, because Tiger Swipe's red too. That's why I'm running the blue. In case I just have to pitch them away. So I was going to say take 1 and then just zen it. Because this could be just the icing on the cake in terms of damage. Potentially. Okay, let me do this first. So, through raw, these are neutral. Through silver, these are +1s. This is a -1. And this could be a +1. Right, so technically we can go to... And technically speaking, these are actually +1s as well. If you can use them appropriately. So the hand size we could end up with could be 3, 4, 7, 6 plus the 4, right? So technically we can end up with 10 cards in hand. The 10 would be these 3. Let's leave 7. These 3. These 4. And then 4 tigers. Which makes sense, right? Because if 3 of these are tigers, they're being used for the Art of War. So technically we can end up perfectly with Tiger Swipe, 100 wins, and 4 tigers to spare. It's just getting to exactly that. How many tigers do you generate with the Sacred Art? Is that a +1 actually? It might be a +1. No, it's generate 2, so it's not a +1, it's neutral. Yeah. So it's possible. We'll just take a few goes. Alright, that's an okay start. Here's the cash out. I'm almost tempted to think the 12 petals is not necessary, and in some circumstances a detriment. Right, because in this scenario, we don't want to generate the resource, because I want the 2 tigers. But then if I had the resource, I could also 12 petals. A little annoying. Not workable. Not workable at all. Close though. What would be the perfect starting hand? Not that. Well, technically, I can generate the 2 resources, use the gold. This isn't actually that bad, and we can put the tiger swipe to the bottom. That was actually the wrong way to do it, though. Stir for stir, then rising. Remove the tiger swipe. Gain the resource. Pass. Gain the resource. Pop the gold. Of course it is. Do that. Pitch the inner chi. Generate 2. Do that. Pitch the inner chi. Get out of war? No, but now it's a tenant, unfortunately. So in this scenario, tenant should still also work. It should be a lot easier to get off. We'll continue, see what we end up getting. No Art of War salvages this, but no Art of War. Okay. This is a bit better. Do that for the gold. 2 Art of Wars. Not the go. It's fine. Depending on what we hit. And still something to banish. We played a blue? I don't think we played a blue, did we? No. Maybe we should just give us the perfect hand. I think it's easier on myself. We have little cash in. Okay. Positive in hand. Stir and preserve, so that's happy. We can go stir. We can click preserve. We can hit the cash in. Generate the resources. Now we can play cash in easier. We get cash out and rising sun. So that allows us to sink the tiger swipe. Do that first, see what we draw. Okay, tiger swipe goes to the bottom. Gain the resource. Play the tenants. Pitch the chi. 3 more cards, please. We have Raw and Art of War, so that works. And then we're zeroed, so we can inner chi the shifting winds. Yeah, so it's shifting winds, that. And realistically speaking, it would be cash out and pitch the other shifting in this scenario. You could almost get rid of the 12 petals at this point. But we'll leave it. And we're hoping for another Art of War cash in. We get a Raw. So that is the end of the chain, unfortunately. No chi. No usable chi. Okay. We had chi card and a blue. We're happy, so cash out and something. Not. We can play it without chi in this scenario. Probably not worth it because we want the Tigers for the Art of War. Only there was an easier to activate blue. Again, preserve tradition laying us down because there's nothing in the graveyard. I think I should cut out the other shiftings. It's going to be too hard to land the chi on them each time unless we get absolutely perfect draws. So cash out is kind of what we want there. Definitely I can play the 100 wins and not care about it. Then get the chi and the resource to play cash in. We also have a cycle back, so I can hit the Tiger Swipe. No, but we're pitching it. So deep blue is an idea that we can cycle and keep cards in the deck. We might zero and do this hypothetically. So we're not having luck, it looks like. So like in this scenario, we can cash out, so we've played a blue, but then for the Transcend, we have to pitch the Shifting Winds. We also don't have any other draw. Yeah, let's cut a few things from the deck and make this easier to pull off. Because it's still going to be good damage. But I really want the 100 wins. I do really like shifting. Maybe I'm being too greedy. You could also do something like Massive Shifting, then use the daggers to cycle. It's a curiosity to me. I don't think it's worth it, no. Also, the other Transcend cards, well, then we have to target something. That can be problematic. But one attack on the chain to play them. Where levels of Enlightenment would come into play. Because you just take the draw, +2 and go again. After you've pitched 3 blue, which shouldn't be too hard to achieve, and then it's a target for all of these. And then they generate the resource and cover its cost anyway, thanks to the legendary chess piece. That would smooth out the play in a proper deck. We'll see if we can get the right hand a few more times. It's an okay start, but we don't have blue for the homage. We can pitch it as a nothing. Yeah, okay, that's fine. It floats a resource. We'll see where it leads us. Oh, it returned to the right state. Cash in, get rid of one of the mystics. Still hit nothing useful. They're even trying to do low amounts of damage with this type of combo. There's too many... there's too many issues with it. Like, the Crouching Daggers into Art of War are fantastic, but obviously if you don't have Art of War, then there's kind of little use for it. I might just give myself the perfect hand and see if that smooths it over. I mean, that's not bad, but again, we don't have a blue for the Rising Sun. It does float resources, like, gives us some other stuff to do. See, in this situation, we really love the chi, so we can get the 2 back. We'll use the gold, see what our next card is. It's another shifting. So even if we used Art of War, it wouldn't have really helped. We'll put everything into the maybe. And we will just use manual mode. But I do want to see what the craziest scenario is. Because we have nothing in the deck, draw doesn't matter. Alright, so we can do that. Play on Talishare. Private, single player. We grab this. Alright, so we have no deck. Does it auto pass your turn if you have no deck? No, good. Right, because now, if you didn't know, you can turn manual mode on. Enable manual mode. And then in here, you can type cards. Don't. Is probably the way to phrase it. Right? So for instance, I can give myself everything I want in the deck, so all 29 cards, if I so desire. The way it works is you just have to enter their card number, right? So Tiger's Rock, for instance, is Dynasty, God, that is so small, 47, I think. Right, so if we click add, ta-da, we can give ourselves, we have to retype it. Yeah, okay. So you have to retype it if you want multiples. But yeah, we'll give ourselves the cards just so we can see what the potential is, right? So Art of War is Arc 160. Yashin Crew 1. They're 88 or 68, God, they made them so small. Then we can also talk about what the actual line is for the Tiger. Dynasty 49. I've also done them in the correct order. I didn't have to retype the codes over and over. I mean, it's obviously clear that you're cheating, by the way, right? If you were attempting to do this in a match. Everfest 158. But we know the draw lines up. That is not the correct code, apparently. Oh, it's an R, not an E. Well, I'm just going to play it. It's on our hand. Oh. We can just give ourselves back the action point. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Ugh. I wish easier than this. There were just ways to look at the deck stack and move the cards about, or get rid of cards, because now that's annoying. Alright, what else are we missing? The 100 wins, which are also at best 43. I really got to turn my hotbar off, it's so annoying. And everything else should be from Mistveil. Yeah. So MST, 095. With all the Transcend cards. There's one. All the ones that we'd actually use for the combo. 96. Luckily they're in order too. 97. 98. 99. And I think then we skip to, nope, 100. So all the on-attack ones we're not taking because they're too inconsistent. So the pot is 101 and grain is 102. So they are absolutely in order. Okay, so that leaves the tenants. So the tenant is 80. I'm still adding the tenant because, again, to get to this hand, we'd need the draw. Then we have the Sacred Art being 53. And then the grain being, no, not the grain, sorry. The Shifting Winds of the Mystic Beast being 52. So 3 copies of that. This is what the deck would look like. And now, thankfully, using this, we can go through the proper card order, which is helpful. But we'll get rid of this weird card first, whatever it is. Oh, for that, I actually need to put manual mode back on. Goes back the action points. Pass for 0. And we're breaking the chain anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, now comes the mental. Cash out is probably in the opening hand. A cash out transcend card and 2 cash ins would probably be the correct way to start. So yeah, cash out. And we hit everything but the chess piece so that we can still get the resources. Off of that, we end up with 1 gold, 5 silver, meaning that all 3 cash ins could be played, right? So cash in, use the silver, draw 2, not that we can, right? Cash in. You're not getting an action point if you don't draw. Is that what just happened? No, we have an action point. I've just apparently... God. Well, I'm not doing it manually. You can tell she has wonderful toolkits, right? For all my griping. It's wonderful that you can even do that. But the undo. I think they're doing too. A blitz version of this. Yeah, blitz is easy. You want something significantly easier for blitz? Yeah, you swap from Zen. And you go to new. And this is class constructed, but it's easily done in this as well. In fact, I should have given myself multiple cosmics just for this scenario. Right, we're taking 2 bits of equipment. That's all you need. We actually got the perfect hand, thank God. Okay, so left in the deck is another Transcend and Cosmic Awakening. Cosmic Awakening is pitch 3 Chi. So basically, right, we can get there super easy. It is Mask, right, to fetch it out of the deck. And then 1 Transcend or 1 Chi card, and then... for Briar. Well, this is a 20 damage opening, right? For Blitz, right? Yes, we're class constructed, but the combo still works just the same. So we can activate the Transcend cards if we want. So we'll do Homage, we'll do Rising Sun, flip them over, and we will put Preserve to the bottom, because we can't get chi off it. Alright, that hand looks a bit better. Okay, so, using Blossom of Spring, we now have a resource. Right, so then we can mask. We can get rid of our non-blue card or our other card, right? So in this case, Spreading Plague. And then from that, we get Cosmic Awakening. Cosmic Awakening, if 3 or more chi was pitched to play this, its damage is 20. So you run a all-blue deck, and you have Cosmic Awakening on demand thanks to Mask of Malicious Manifestation. So, yeah. Now, the fun part for Blitz, right? Our hand will return to the start of the turn. So we have Spreading Plague. So we'll do the same thing. We'll activate our cheese. We will put Preserve back to the deck. We will then stir the pots for the chi. We'll then pass. We will stash the Spreading Plague. We'll get Cosmic Awakening anyway. But in this scenario, right? If you take Redback Shroud instead of Blossom of Spring, but in this case, Blossom of Spring still works because we don't have to mask, you can now play Spreading Plague. Meaning, you then do a 20 damage attack that if they do the correct thing and overblock it, right? Equipment and hand, you then follow up with a Spreading Plague, and they generate Blood Rot equal to the number of defending cards on the chain link. So they've warded off 20 damage, but now, right, Blood Rot does 3, or is it 2? It's 3, I'm pretty sure. We'll double check. Blood Rot does 2 damage. Okay, 2 damage unless they pay, right? So it'll be 2, 4, 6, 8, and then if they end up dumping the hand, because it's the first turn, this is the wonderful scenario of if this is the first turn, they're more than confident to dump their hand to avoid 20 damage, right? So it'd be 8, it would be an extra 16 damage if they don't pay, right? And most likely they can pay for up to 4 of that, so they still take 8 damage, but usually speaking, they won't have a whole hand of blues, because most people don't run a just all blue deck. So yeah, so it's 20, then pressuring 16, unless you sink their hand again. So then you get another turn to do more disgusting shenanigans if you really want, right? This card is just, all 3 Mystics have this in Blitz. Now, Nu has the easiest way to access it, thanks to the mask, but it's just, it shouldn't be 20, straight up, right? This is exactly why it shouldn't be 20. You shouldn't be able to pressure 20 on the first turn, nor add Spreading Plague to it. The deck list, there's not a full deck list for it. We can make one nice and quickly, in all honesty. Yeah. Again, it's all blues and you can take other shenanigans. But the closest would be Riptide, right? And you can run traps, funny enough. If we look at Nourish Tide. Nourish Tide uses the same premise, right? Mask. But instead fishing out Nourishing Emptiness, which is a 6 with Dominate. And I think a 20 without Dominate is still disgustingly appropriate. But we would go create, swap over to Blitz, and we'd pick Nu. And this would be what? Cosmic Nu Blitz. Alright, let's see how easy this is to make. So equipment-wise, you'd probably still take the Mistveils. Wherever they went. I mean, you'd probably just take all defensive equipment. We'll go through each slot. Arms, Goliath Gauntlet, sure, an extra 2 damage, why not? Right, 22, that seems fair. Just, again, Redback Shroud would be my suggestion for the Spreading Plague. Because the Spreading Plague is definitely the icing on the cake. And you don't have to use Spreading Plague. There's tons of reactions you could run, right? And again, you let their damage through maybe, and then you clap back with just way too much damage. But there. So you take all 3 Cosmics, well 2, because it's Blitz, and you take Mask. And I wouldn't run any other attacks, right? Because then this makes Mask be a guarantee fetch out Cosmic Awakening. And then you also have the benefit of being able to take cards like Memorial, well, not Memorial Ground, right? Because this has a 2 or less, like Remembrance, to cycle it back. But even Premeditate, you could chuck a Premeditate onto it if you ended up stashing the Cosmic. Either way, turn 1 is basically fetch Cosmic, put it into your arsenal, and then save blues, or something like that. Then you also have like Toxicity, which would just be extra life. Because I don't think, aside from like Guardian, there's anyone who can block a straight 20 damage fully. Equipment would probably be at best 8, and then if they're lucky, 12 from hand would be exactly 20, and that's stretching it because no one really runs all 2 defense equipment in every slot. But yeah, so we'll just stick to blue. Definitely take all the Transcend cards. Tide Chakra as a buff, maybe. You don't really need the Sacred Art either. You could just take a full draw deck. But again, the power of this is that you have Cosmic whenever you want, right? From a 4-card hand, nothing in the arsenal. You still have you still have the ability to get Cosmic if you just get 1 resource through Blossom of Spring. So, in terms of just disgusting opening or, you know, bullying, Blossom is definitely the right choice. We'll just inventory the Redback Shroud for the longer games. You could take like Cash Out to cycle if you really wanted. But yeah, again, I mean, you could run just all Titanium Bubbles. Would be another way. And really just, you know, meme on them. Because 20 is 20. And then wonderfully, you have another card that you have access to, and that is Codex. Goes to Frodo. Each hero puts an attack action card from the graveyard face down to their arsenal. Each hero that does discards a card. So if I have 4 cards again, right, and we Codexed, we get Cosmic, I get rid of 1 card, and I still have 3 to pitch into it. You're too poor for Codex? That's fine. I mean, your other outs are like Flick Knives and Hurl. And you basically just take the damage, right? Because there's, aside from prevention effects, there's nothing they can do. So, you know, you're pressuring 22. Your best bet in that scenario would then be the Spreading Blade combo. Or, rather, Cosmic Awakening into some sort of buff, right? So, in that scenario, again, you know, we'll make the deck. Give me all the attack reacts that we have access to. Type, attack reaction. So, not anything too costly. Again, 1 you can get away with because you have Redback Shroud. So in this scenario, you know what? We'll make this super simple. We will just take 0 cost reactions, right? Attack reaction, 0 cost. So you have Shred to wear them down if you want. Razor's Edge. Stealth, no. Lunging Press is just a +1 damage. That seems fine. Target Assassin, no. Target Assassin, no. Well, it looks like we'll have to go to 1. 1 or less, or Stealth. It kind of looks like Shreds. Shred, Shred. Alright, so then I guess we go up to the 1 cost reacts. I mean, there's no worries, this is fun for me. This is definitely a combo I'm going to play in Blitz. Target Assassin, Razor Reflex, cost less, no. Siren's Call, no. Stealth, no. Put Spreading Plague back in. You know what the better way to actually probably do this is, instead of going for reactions, you go for defense. You just load up the deck with a bunch of defense. Been thinking about it. Like you take unmovable, and you can take all the blues too, which no one ever runs, and they're nice and cheap. They still have decent value. And what's the cost of the deck looking? It's a $50 deck behind me, so we can change that though. We can definitely get it cheap as possible. Yeah, traps as well, because you are assassin, so you have, what ones? You've got Blood Rot, Frailty. You do need the blues for the Cosmic. There's something to be a bit wary of. And it's not perfect because you do have to also hit the chi, right? So I'd probably take draw, make it a little bit more consistent. I think with the traps, you take whichever one is most usable against the matchup. So for instance, a Briar, you take Inertia, because Inertia has, because Briar has a lot of buffing, right? They don't have that many reactions, nor Go Again. Sometimes they use Go Again, but Inertia is probably the most applicable. So you probably just have them on the side. I mean, this round's on me to stall. Sift. Sift is a good one to look for cards. I mean, Burdens is a fun one as well. Right, because if you can play Burdens with it... Where'd it go? Then they can't play defense reactions with the same name as what's in their graveyard. So if you can, if you're trying to double Cosmic in this scenario, then you'd probably want some way to recycle it, like Remembrance. The nice thing is Preserved Tradition. Put target action card means you can cycle back Cosmic Awakening as well. I mean, for me, Codex would still be the clincher. I understand it's ridiculously expensive at the current time, just because for this exact reason that it's so strong. We're 3 cards off. We have all the equipment. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes, yep. You could also run Deep Blue to smooth over the cost basis. Yes and no, right? The odds are kind of in our favor. The other thing, I don't know if it'll work on Talishare, but they explain how Chi works, and it is definitely kind of confusing. But we'll see in a second. So we're 3 cards away. What other blues could we take? Do we have, like, Oasis and whatnot? No. You know what? Just for filler. Right, you're right. How would you transcend the blues? Well, you only actually need to transcend 1. But that's where something like Toxicity, or any of the buffs that aren't reactions, which actually we didn't look at, right? So there are, especially in Assassin and Ranger, actually a lot of buffs that aren't reactions. Like you play Toxicity, Transcend. If you have 2 of them though, then they work with one another. I mean, we'll play test it a bit and see how we can fix it up. So now we'll get rid of the reds and yellows actually. Only keep Spreading Plague because again, I think if you draw into Spreading Plague, the fact that you can just stash it, mask out the Cosmic and wait a turn is probably enough. Because again, I think Cosmic and Spreading Plague, one after the other, is probably enough to do the job. We'll see. How is it worded? I wish there was a way to find exactly these cards, but we have to type in gain and then sift through. Whispers is block and sift. That's kind of nice. So yeah, 0 cost like this would also be able to activate the Transcend. We can't wait 2 more. You also take like Sun's Kiss or Sigils to just stall. I mean, funny enough, you can take like Rouse the Ancients, but then it does make Mask a 50-50. Let's fill it with pick a card. Probably just find blue defense cards. Yeah, so if we play, let's see how this ends up working out. Splits. Private. I'll still do a single player though. Error. Following cards not legal. Ah, right. Sorry. Open format blitz. Oh, thanks. Glad I do the explanations justice. Alright, let's see what our opening here looks like. So, we have 1 blue. That's perfect. So in this scenario, all you would do is go Sift. Pass. Oh, we forgot boots. Might as well get rid of them. We got some more chi. Then we can Rising Sun for the chi. Pass. We will sink the Remembrance. Although we're getting it back anyway. Back, no. No, because we sync with Mask. So in this scenario, you'd want to get rid of something else. You'd sync the pick a card, or not. Get your chi. Then you could Mask. We could pitch the Remembrance or the drop. Doesn't really matter. Get rid of the other one. You pull out Cosmic straight away. We pass. We put Cosmic into the arsenal. And we get our cards, right? So they're Tusking. Even Briar in their opening. If they're going first, then it's a little scary. Because Mask is an action, and you'd probably have to do something a bit more aggressive. But if you're going first, set up, and then knock them down. So, I don't know if this is going to work, but legally, in the way it's worded in the explanation by LSS, it should. So, Chi and Inner Chi are different, right? I don't know if Teleshare has been updated yet. So, the way the wording works is this Inner Chi generates 3 Chi. So, 1 Inner Chi quantifies for all 3 steps of Cosmic Awakening. So if this does 10, it hasn't been coded, but it should always do 20 off of 1 Inner Chi. And it's a little confusing. We might as well take a look at that. Yeah, so it's doing 10. But just to clarify, go to the page. Go to Articles, we go to the Primer, we go to Time to Transcend. Right, so Inner Chi are a blue mystic resource to generate 3 new assets Chi, right, when pitched. So, yeah. At least this is my understanding, but this is not worded as if 3 Inner Chis were pitched. It's 3 or more Chi were pitched to play this, meaning that 3 out of the 9 have to be the Chi units, weirdly, because they're new, and then the other 6 have to be normal resources. I mean, at 10 damage is still kind of juicy as a swing turn. But yes, that is my understanding because of this whole wording. And I think it's the same as everyone else's. Just, it's going to take a while for us to click that there's the 2 different resources now. So technically when we pitch that, it should be 3 blue, 6 red, right? To pay for this. And then that 3 blue covers the cost. Makes it do 20. You could also then Flick Knives, 1 extra damage. If you took the... What dagger would you take? You take the one that nullifies defense reactions, since you get the reaction step first, right? So then you'd be able to Flick Knives, get rid of a dagger, and inflict the... God, let me find it. The debuff. You'd be able to inflict Nerve Scalpel, right? So then if they defend with defense reactions or play defense reactions, they get -1. But yeah, as you can see, we also have 1 card left over. If you had a reaction or anything like that. So there is steps to it. Don't get me wrong. It's not, an instant thing. You gotta find Inner Chi, and you gotta load up Cosmic Awakening. You gotta survive a turn, and then you go, basically. But yeah, actually, instead of backing Mistveils, I would just take 2 daggers that have useful effects. What did we forget? We forgot boots. I don't even know what we'd take. Black Tech is target assassin, so that's no good. I think you just take defense. think in all honesty, you don't even need the Glyph, just take more defense. I mean, frontline in this scenario for Blitz could work out really well, just for the extra block, right? You take frontline, legs, and gauntlets, maybe. I don't know what's more value. If you have flick knives or a form flick knives, right? Otherwise, yeah, probably just frontline. But then if you're not going first, you're just blocking with them. Alright, the question is, how many times can we do it in a row? That's probably the tell of whether or not this is consistent. Through toxicity, we do have Passover. So you can save Passover. We don't have really the blue to activate it, though. Actually, no, it should work out fine. Yeah, no, this works out fine. So we mask, pitch one, get rid of the other. Right, so Oasis Respite in this scenario. We get ourselves our Cosmic, pass, put it into the arsenal, get more blues, take the damage, use our front line. Right, now, normal opponent would put something in their graveyard, actually, in thinking about it. We obviously don't, but you'd be able to do Toxicity, and then you'd be able to play Passover in this scenario, or even again, if you didn't have Toxicity, we'd play Sift, and we didn't have to actually cycle anything. We just play to activate and then get the chi, right? And then Cosmic Awakening, and we pitch all three. It's going to do 0 because we haven't actually done any chi though, but in the scenario, right? Again, normal opponents should have something in their graveyard by now. That's kind of weird too. Why is it 10? It shouldn't be 10, it should be 0. Yeah. Interesting. But it's 2 in a row. Easy peasy. Okay, so here's our first bad sort of hand, where we don't have the chi. God damn it. You're chatting away, but I can't see it. I can see it pop up on stream, but I don't know why the little messenger in just dies on me, and I can't see it. What'd you say? The one chi is 3 separate chi. Yeah. What's following up? So what's the follow-up to the 20 damage opener besides spreading? That is the question. It'd probably just be, I don't know, dagger swings, value blocks, and wait for the other Cosmic. You can take a very defensive line. But in a proper setting, you'd probably have to then run other attacks instead of Cosmic. Makes it a little worse. Unless you just take things strictly to generate, right, and debuff them. So what could you do for Blood Rots? Guess the Codexes, I think. Everything else is an attack. You could try and run stuff like Warmongers, for instance. Yeah, well, that's the other... Yeah, you could probably just, you know, block. So if you did take all value blocks, where there are at least 3, if not more, and then you're just blocking every turn, till you either hit the other Cosmic, or the Remembrance, or the Preserve. Warmongers would be the best buff. Get off with it, right? So then when you play this, if it hits, put it to the bottom of your deck. There's a few ways to cycle out of the graveyard. Yeah, that too. Again, so the legs and the arms are interchangeable. So yeah, you could definitely take one Null Rune for their Rosetta Thorn and whatever other arcane they're utilizing. That's definitely a good call. You can't do Memorial Grounds. Can't do Contraband. It's Banish. I mean, your other thing that we probably haven't mentioned is your new. So in this scenario, right, you kind of just want to get to Chi, and then you get to do new shenanigans and use their blues against them. The tomes are fantastic as well, if you can just stash one, right? Because it's either a 2-block at gain 2 life, or, you know, if you have more cards in hand. So yeah, let's actually do this properly, instead of just jank blues. I still like Sift because A, it activates, and B, it allows you to try and sift for the actual Transcend cards. Unmovable probably stays. Toxicity is just a nice buff, and it's an extra 3 damage, right? So it's one of the highest value blue buffs, technically. This round's on me. Debuff is good. Sink Below, it's still 2-block in cycle. Pick cards, definitely just jank. So Sift, Sink Below, Whispers, a few ways to opt. Toughen Up's probably a weird one, but definitely Tome. I mean, you could run the other sigils. I mean, statistically speaking, right, we just want 3 cards out of the hand to be blue. So you only need 30 blues, and everything else could be yellow or red for this to actually work. So you could take higher value cards like Sigil, or the red Sink Below, or that type of defense. There is also the new cards. We look Mystic and Assassin. She has some groovy stuff. Target Assassin or Mystic, that... Oh, actually, these all do work in hindsight, because it's Target Assassin or Mystic, and this is a Mystic attack. So a lot of her cards actually work. So yeah, so it's just weaken them as much as possible, and then every time you get Chi, you could new and play cards from their deck, from their graveyard, from their banish. Yeah, from their banish. You still need more ways to get their banish, because it's only hitting 1 card. So that's probably the weakness, and something we need to shore up, is how to banish more cards from their graveyard. So the new, is it Gatekeeper or Gravekeeper? I think it's Gravekeeper. Yeah, Gravekeeper. When it stacks, may banish a card, but it's an attack. Trying to stick away from attacks. Suppose you take the Sacred Arts. The top 2 cards, put 1 if it's 0. So yeah, Intimate Inducement definitely works. Creating Slither doesn't really matter. You could probably take Venomous Bite. Right, so it's technically a +2 or a 3-block, so that's kind of nice. Gorgon's Gaze would be fun to play, but I don't think you have the resources for it. Even if you took Redback Shroud. The fact that it's 2 cost. Siren's Call is a nice one, because it's cycle as well, or a 3-block. But yeah, so it'd be a big opening and stall. So the other way to think is Cosmic Awakening, what does it buy you? It buys you 2 turns, hopefully. The Cosmic Awakening, hopefully drain their hand. If only there's a way to search out Spreading Plague. And then you're trying to recoup. There's some other ways to gain life, might be useful. I mean, one underrated stall tactic that I don't see used a lot is if you take the Sigils of Solace and you take Sunkiss, right? So for instance, you could gain 6 life in a turn, and that's pretty good. So with Mask, you'd have to swing and then use it. That's the other situation. You also have like Helen the Snake or the other new chest that allows you to fetch out Chi. We'll take Venomous Bite. What's the weird one card we have? I guess it's the Transcends. Probably toughen up. Alright, see how this feels. So, perfect. We have blues to play. Right, so in this scenario, probably this round's on me. I think the minus would pay off, even giving them an extra card. Then you can homage, gain a life, get your Chi, mask, sync, doesn't really matter. We'll keep the Venomous Bite, because it's a reaction that we might be able to play. Although Burns of the Past is nice, but you're probably not getting any defense reactions out of them. We'll do that. Get the Cosmic, pass, put it into the arsenal. Get Toxicity, so that works too. Tusk, again, use front line to defend, or, if you have Null Rune. So Null Rune, you could use one card, so you'd be able to protect against 3 Arcane. So we're not using Deep Blue, so I think Blossom is definitely better, right? Because if we use Blossom in this scenario, we'd be able to Venomous Bite or Toxicity. Then we can play Toxicity first, actually. I think that's a bit better than Venomous. Does Toxicity work? No, Toxicity does not work. Never mind, that is not the correct angle. The correct angle is Blossom. Yeah. And we can do this. And we use 3, so again, should be doing 20. And yeah, 1 card left over. So that card, again, can either go into blocking 3, pitching away for Arcane, or being a buff through Blossom. Or you could also just stall until you luck into Spreading Plague. That's also another scenario. In which case, your best bet is probably to Arsenal a Transcend card. Because if you Arsenal a Transcend card, then at least you can play it and you can get the Chi back into your hand instead. And that way it plays around any Arsenal destruction. But Toxicity is not working. And Toughen Up is probably incorrect. Kind of like just having all the intermittent inducements as a way to, again, to add fuel for news, and plus also mess with their deck. Plus they're 3 blocks anyway. I think they're what we run. Right, cut out 1 card. This should be fine. But I mean, so far we've gotten it off every single time. So, that's nice. If we can keep the streak going. So in this scenario, no Chi. You Sift. You can do that. And I'd keep the Orions for this scenario, right? Because now we can still pitch into it. And float a resource, which means we'd still be able to use Mask. We played a blue, so if we ended up hitting one of the Chi cards, we'd be fine. So this is where it gets a bit tricky, because now we'd have to play a bit slower. So we'd still fetch Cosmic Awakening. Get rid of the Remembrance. Pass. This time put the Tome into the arsenal. Sacred Undercurrents is playable but not usable. That's no good. So it's definitely just Tome next turn. Again, block. Pitch probably the Sacred Undercurrents for the Arcane or the other Tome. And then just stall, so use Tome. We want the Spreading Plague, because again, I think Spreading Plague with Cosmic is just always going to be a KO in Blitz. I just don't see how they can get out of it. Right, again, if they had all blue in hand. Well, actually no, they'd have to not fully block Cosmic Awakening. Which again, is a lose-lose situation. I mean, God. Where's the pen? Here we are. Oh, Talishad does not like the pen. Okay. We'll pitch Sacred Currents. Look for an easier Transcend card. So we could also Remembrance back Tome in this scenario, and the Sift. You'd probably wait though. Yeah, it's probably stall again. This is definitely the worst draw we've had. Now we're starting to take damage. And by, you know, turn 2 and 3, Briar's probably gone away with it. Yeah. So our deck's just clumped in this scenario. Because, I mean, you know, consistently, you run, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-ish. Right, so 8 out of 40 should have you... You should get 1 by turn 2, theoretically. But damage-wise, right, we have... What's the pen? 20 through Cosmic. Say they have 1 block on each equipment, right, on average. So that's 4 block. And say they actually do have 3 block every card in hand. That's 12 block, right? So they have used 8 cards to negate 16 damage. So they're still taking 4. If you chuck on the Spreading Plague, they're then generating another 16 damage. That 16 damage, if they were to pitch their whole hand, they still take 8. That's only 12, so it's not the most perfect OTK. But that then does buy you those 2 turns, which could lead to something. There's just more chip damage for us to take. Yes, that is definitely the weakness of the deck that we need to shore up. So the nice thing is Riptide, for instance, with Nourishing. You can do this and then you just trap them to death, right? Basically, through the burn damage. How do we get burn damage in New? Yeah, and it'd definitely be taking advantage of her ability. Then you also need a way to get them into the blue zone. I mean, I guess Gorgon's Gaze would be the better call then. Because Gorgon's Gaze... So to make Gorgon's Gaze work with this is definitely a hefty ask. You'd need a Slither, which you get. Never mind. Gorgon's Gaze is not a hefty ask. Ninja, Assassin, and Warrior. And we can do 2 of the 3. I mean, to be honest, just tempo plays with Zen is workable as well. With all the new Tiger shenanigans. But Gorgon's Gaze would also be a clincher. So like Spreading Plague. 2 costs is the Warrior. You have this in your hand and 3 blues. 3 blues go into Cosmic. Play this, you couldn't, because you have no way to generate 2 resources. If you could just get this off, you get the Slither to give Cosmic Awakening go again. And then you also banish all their defending cards. And then if you use Chi, you could play them. We'll put a pin in this. Your Ninja number 1, so Ninja's workable. We got a few. We got Pounding Gale, Blind Center, 100 wins. It's actually quite a lot. Find Center is an interesting one for Blitz. So Find Center. If Crane Dance was the last, don't really care about Crane Dance, right? If Crouching Tiger was the last attack, this combat chain can't be defended by cards with cost less than the number of chain links you control. So this can be a really good unblockable card. If you play enough Tigers. It's not that hard to play enough Tigers. Right? Because you've got lots of ways to generate them. In Blitz, it's probably a lot easier. Yeah, if you... the Tenant card or Farandels. And then you stay. But again, it's nice to have those multiple paths, definitely. But consistency-wise, it's probably still not there. I think maybe Zen is the better choice. Right, and we can make a proper Blitz competitive deck. Because there's a few outs with Zen which really work well. I just love the idea of just turn 1, here's a 20 damage, and 8 Plague tokens. That would be insane. Can't say I'm the best player either. But the nice thing with the new Zen is Crouching Tigers fulfill the combo needs of everything. So it really makes for a lot of strong payoff cards. For instance, you've got some lesser ones that aren't really played for a few reasons, but you have like Break Tide. So if Rushing River of Flood of Force was the last attack this combat chain, gains +3 and Dominate. And then you have the whole new Mystic card, which is Shifting Winds, right? Whenever you play Crouching Tiger this turn, name a card, it gets said name. So this into Zen allows you to almost play any combo. Perfect, you love Break Tide, right? So I would probably get shade for it, but I do think Zen is just better Katsu, in all honesty. So the first time an attack card you control hits each turn, you may discard a card with 0. If you do, search deck for a card with combo, banish it, and then shuffle. You may play it this turn. So overall, this is a net loss in cards, right? With Zen, if you have the cheat, this is positive, because you're still spending a card, but you're getting the combo card, and you're getting the Crouching Tiger. So I think, yeah, Zen is just better Katsu. You can run exactly the same combos, if not better, because again, now you have Shifting Winds, which allows you to rename a Crouching Tiger into whatever you want. It's definitely good damage. But yeah, so you've got this, and I definitely say Break Tide is contender for the Dominate effect, just for the damage. Then you also have the good old Tiger Swipe, and all of these pressure and force the Briar to empty their hand, which is definitely going to be useful. Then you have, again, was it Crane? No, it was Flight. Was it? No, it's Find Center. Find Center. Again, Find Center has a cool interaction, right? So equipment is counted as 0 cost, as per the ruling of Klloo. So Find Center, if it's at least the second chain link, which it should be because you've played Crane Dance or Crouching Tiger, can't be defended by equipment. And then Briar, what's their heaviest cost card? Probably still like a 7 or something, isn't it? Because they play Rouse the Ancients. But you know, if you play 3 Tigers, this can't be defended by any equipment or cards that cost 3 or less. So I do think Find Center is a good payoff as well. What is this card? This Interior may look at a face down card in their arsenal equipment zones. That seems horrible. So that's just for limited. I guess that's one of the recent most spoilers. We've got Tiger, Break Tide, Find Center. You also have 100 Winds, which we already went over, basically. I think this is just an auto-include of all 3 colors, just for the tempo. And then Pounding Gale, which I will get around to a proper video with Pounding Gale. Pounding Gale has the highest damage potential. Over the center. Oh, wrong way. That's the one that does... Was it? Oh no, it's Dominate again. No, so I wouldn't take Open Center because of the 2 cost, unfortunately. While the Dominate is nice, right? 2 for 5, them still being able to block with 1 card from hand and arsenal, don't think is going to do it. There was, yeah, I'm doing this the wrong way. We can literally just go to combo. There was another one that did burn damage. Where was it? Wasn't it Fluster Fist, was it 1-2 punch? This hits the hero, deal 2 damage. Yeah, 1-2 punch is an interesting one too. And it's 3 blocks, so it is definitely viable. But we'll start here, right? So Pounding Gale. Pounding Gale, let me reword it for you. If Pounding Gale deals 10 damage, win. Right? That's the straightforward way to word it for Blitz, because of the whole, if it would deal damage to a hero, instead it deals double that much damage, right? So if you can get 10 damage through with Pounding Gale, I know it's kind of a big ask, but if you can get 10 damage through, it's a one-shot, right? For a 20 damage, 20 life hero. So I do think Pounding Gale is probably one of the best payoffs for Zen. And then you have all these, you can search them for Zen, the 100 wins you can play normally, the shifting winds allows you to, again, Crouching Tiger. You'd probably take the other mask to smooth it over though. Instead of Mask Momentum, you take Many Faces. Again, just to turn a Tiger. Now, Mask of Pouncing Lynx is probably more useful, but not usable in Blitz. You take that, and then we would take all the Crouching Tiger stuff, basically. It's easier. It's always easier if I just type in the cards, I'm thinking. So Raw combos perfectly with Art of War. No, actually. There is better Tiger economy than Predatory. I mean, the 3 is fantastic, don't get me wrong. But the fact that these are in hand makes them usable for a few different reasons. Right? The Roar of the Tiger plus all the Mystic Gen. We'll see if we can fit it in, right? Because yeah, 3 Tigers is definitely helpful. But you take, what else would you take? The new Tiger attack, Tooth and Claw, which is fantastic. So when it stacks, you may reveal a number of Crouching Tigers from your hand. If 1 or more, has go again. 2 or more +1. 3 or more, draw a card. So even if you only have 1 Tiger, this is still a 0 for 4 with go again, and not behind a, on hit effect. So the fact that you can just throw a 4 out there is fantastic to me. So then the same can be said for levels of Enlightenment, which is just an insane E-strike to me. Because yes, that's the cost of 1, but same scenario. As long as you've pitched 1, draw a card, pitch 2, +2, pitch 3, go again. It almost feels like Tooth and Claw should have been the same sort of thing, right? Having the go again as the 3rd stage would definitely make it harder. But yeah, I would definitely take levels of Enlightenment, right? It's either something to throw out there if you've pitched enough, or a way to get Art of War off. So in terms of pitching, this is also not too hard of an ask because the inner cheese are blues. Can you even see the flip side of chi? I don't think you can you? Fine, we'll do zoom, we'll flip, right? So they are blue, which I think is also another oversight, but obviously works within the set. So, say you put 1 chi into Shifting Winds, 1 chi into Zen, right? That's already 2 down, so levels of Enlightenment is already drawn +2. If you get a 3rd one off, right, you're happy. So I think it's a win-win either way. Then you take the Transcend cards. Reserve Tradition, Rising Sun. Definitely good old Tiger. Stir the Pot. Now, these ones are a bit more iffy. The Grain, the Path. Passover is definitely viable. The Drop. So these 3, I don't necessarily always like, because they have that condition of they have to target an attack. So Drop in the Ocean, you're either taking a -1 to your attack, or you're playing it on your opponent's turn. So, meh. Target gains go again. Ninja really doesn't need more go again. It can definitely be useful, right? If you only have 2 cards pitched with levels of Enlightenment, then it comes in handy. But, I don't know. I'd leave it in the maybe for now. And then Tip the Grain, same thing. You have to have attacked. And I like, well, in Ninja, you don't want to break the chain. That's the big thing. So, you're doing all your setup first, and then you're going into your massive streak. We have another good draw card. Oh. The Legendary. is also something worth thinking about. If I could even remember how to spell legendary. That way. So... Oh, it doesn't come up. Interesting. So I've been chest then. This is going to get super expensive. This is just by far the best in slot. Right, one extra resource of all the Transcend cards is phenomenal. Though, I don't think it's necessary. If you can get it early, or you can open it while it's cheap, go for it. Otherwise, I'd just stick with like Vest. And I think that's strong enough, the 2 resources. Or even just Blood Scent, since we are playing Crouching Tigers. The resources are definitely insane from this. It's ridiculous. It should be a once turn, in all honesty. But yeah, it will be just this. It depends. If Enigma shines, then Enigma's L will definitely be. Otherwise, yeah, this is going to be one of the most expensive. They're both going to be super expensive. Hopefully the Rainbow Foil is reasonable. If you're not buying boxes, that's fair enough. I do think it's workable with either Vest or just Blood Scent. So we'll stick to Blood Scent. Alright, how many? We're missing 9 cards. So now let's just fill it out with some other Tiger shenanigans. So, Harmony of the Hunts is the one I usually like. Where is it? So Harmony of Hunts, if you pitch a blue, create a Crouching Tiger in your hand, and we are trying to stick to mainly blue. Oh, you're not. Okay. Well, then good luck. Hopefully you get it. What did we get the oh yeah. News L is insane too. They're all insane. So hopefully you hit one of them. But Harmony of the Hunts, you take is just a filler, right? The 1 damage is okay, but getting Crouching Tigers for their value is the biggest thing in this deck for me. So I take the blue Harmony of the Hunt over any of the other colors. And generally speaking, I'll stick to blue for the rest of the cards. So Breed Anger is another good one. If Crouching Tiger was the last attack, it's Common Chain, it gets go again and creates a Crouching Tiger. So it's anything that doesn't have a hit effect, I always think is good. Mind State is too slow. I know there's shenanigans if you do like Mind State and then have the boots and start with 2 Crouching Tigers. Yes, you can Remembrance it. You can Remembrance it, you can Preserve Tradition it, because it's not instant, but the better way is probably Memorial Ground. I can't remember if this is attacks. No, never mind. You're right. Remembrance is a better play. There is one for non-attacks. What is it? We'll type in Graveyard. It is going to be the Contraband. Yes, that's what I'm thinking about. The Contraband. If it hits, you may put a non-attack action card from your graveyard on top of your deck. And the reason why this is obviously powerful is the whole top of your deck. So this is a 4, meaning your opponent has to block with 2 cards, right? Then if you're threatening to buff it or anything like that, it's more insane. But it's, if you have well, I wouldn't even just say the Shifting Winds. There are just so many good cards that you could hit with this that your opponent would have to go, yeah, I can't let that happen, right? So I do think in terms of the 2 costs, this is probably the only one you run. But having it go to the top of the deck, so this and Memorial Ground for that reason, is why they're a lot stronger than, say, Remembrance. I do have a Discord, but the better Discord for you to join is Riddler Man's, for Fab. My Discord is very just casual. I mean, you're more than welcome to, and, you know, ask me any questions anytime. But Riddler Man has a wonderful Fab Discord that I am in a lot of the time as well. The link is usually in any of my videos, but actually it should be in the Is it in the description of this? Too late, join us. There we go. I mean, either way, I'm in both of them all the time, anytime I'm online. And you know what? Oh, that's what we're missing. Dishonor. Dishonor is also an easy one to pull off, and it's blue. Yeah, so you have so much threat as Zen. It's always lovely. But you could probably just take Remembrance at this point. Oh, we already did. Never mind. What could you take? Some more draw? I mean, I'm always partial to the good old crown and cash in for a nice +1. But I do think masks shores this up a bit better. Equipment. Still need the arms. Tiger Stripe is probably still going to be best in slot. But you could probably get away with Tearing Shuko since we are mainly just playing Tigers. Plus has Battle Worn. Yeah, you know what? This actually has more value. Because you get to block with it and you also get the +2. And then we have legs. So with all the combo shenanigans, I like Breeze Rider a bit more. Right? Because it means Break Tide has go again. It means Dishonor has go again. It means Find Center even. So that could be useful. Again, Battle Warns for the value, but you know, you could also just take a Crouching Tiger. So I do think Breeze Riders is a little bit expensive. The new Stride of Reprisal is okay. Is it worth it? I think having the ability to just have a Crouching Tiger. I mean, the in-hand is definitely strong, but this is more about blocking when you have Art of War than just blocking. So we'll stick to Breeze Riders for the game plan, but we'll definitely maybe that and maybe that. Alright, so we're still 3 cards off. There should be some new good reactions too that I'm forgetting about. Yes, the Tenants. There we go. So this is another next blue attack. This turn, when this attacks, draw a card, right? So off that, we have levels, we have 100 wins, we have Harmony, we have Dishonor, we have Find Center. So it is useful enough to just cycle, or again, something to pitch away, and it's 3 block. So I do like that, but we probably need something a little bit more defensive in reality. This 5? It is 5. And let's just cycle Chi. Wildwind Gustwave is also workable. I mean, you could take a normal Katsu deck, right, and just tweak it slightly. Yeah, perfect. You have Breeze. I do think for its utility, because again, both this and the Tearing Shuko you just block with, right, and then they're on board whenever you need them. But I do just like cash in to cycle and draw. I mean, so the other... Actually, you know what? Cash in's always right. Because the big upside, if you have the Legendary Chess Piece, or you get the Legendary Chess Piece, right? It means anytime you get Chi, cash in is neutral draw. So it's always 2 cycle. It's never negative. So I do think cash in is fine. 1 card left. You could also take Tome and Mage Master. Otherwise, what would we take? There was another big M Crouching Tiger from memory. I think it's near the start, though. Yeah, this one. Chase Tail. So when it stacks, if Crouching Tiger was last, this gets to go again, and the next Crouching Tiger has +3. It's kind of weird to me, but this just seems like a weaker version of Breed... Where was it? Breed Anger? We saw it just before. Yeah, of Breed Anger. Well, I guess the plus, I suppose. But they both get go again, they both create Crouching Tigers. I guess it's good enough. Just playing it for outright. So, the cycle is just super impactful. In my opinion. I think it's a bit underrated. But also, well, you know what, we can maybe it for now. But yeah, if you have the new chest, or you get the new chest, means that off of any time you transcend, you have 4 resources. There's tons of ways to also float resources to shore it up, right? So, shifting. One chain to that is floating 2. So, and you're getting 2 Crouching Tigers, so technically it's still neutral draw. And it's just cycle and find the right pieces. I think it's just more harmonies, in all honesty. Right, they have go again, they're 1 cost. You'd probably throw the red Predatory in there, actually. Anything else? It's annoying to me, right? The Tenants plus the 8 Transcend cards you can run. You know what, we'll put in... Another go again, we'll put in the +1. Why not? Alright. It's a good start. Let's see how it plays. Alright, I need to open. Stick to single player. Okay, we didn't pick a weapon. I still like daggers over Star, because I just don't think you need the damage. This is a pretty bad hand. But you can still 100 wins one of the Tigers, I suppose. But this is a terrible hand. I mean, the upside is you'd want to cycle stuff away, so you'd want the weapon. Yeah, either weapon, right? But we'd just stash the Predatory. We get Find Center. So you can still do some damage with this. It's just not perfect. This is probably the worst hand we could open with, right? But Mask shorts this up, right? Predatory Strike, get 3. Mask. So that time, 1 can be either 100 wins or can be Find Center. So Crane Dance. It's not a ton of damage though, unfortunately. No, I think you do still play. Because Tigers by themselves, you've got a few ways to buff them. I think you do take the Staff, actually. Was it... Katakara? Nope. Weapon. So 2 for go again, and the next Crouching Tiger gets +1. It's not huge. It definitely helps. Alright, but this is a better hand. Yeah. The Harmony of the Hunt, pitch blue, probably pitch the other one. What are the lines? Tiger, Harmony, play the other Harmony, Homage, Tiger, 100 wins. Because again, you're still just trying to, do normal ninja things, always do damage and pressure. But then you also have the Chi off the Homage to now find a piece. And you have Mask. So I think that even this starting hand is sort of workable, right? And depending on how long the chain is and what you're going into, that would probably determine what you fetch out with Zen. So the best call in this situation is probably the Break Tide, since it has Dominate. Yeah, well, let's play. So Tiger, pitch that, float 1. Pass. Play Harmony. You get a Tiger. You can then Homage. You get the Chi. You can then Zen. This is instant, so that works. You then get another Tiger and you get a Break Tide. Right, so Break Tide is probably the best bets. Tiger Swipe is, always a good call, but maybe a little bit greedy. I like the Break Tide because of the Dominate effect. And especially since we still have Mask. If you didn't have Mask active, then the Tiger Swipe would be the better call. But I think it's Break Tide. The Break Tide's banished, and we may play it. And then we can pass. We don't need the Breeze Riders, so leave that. We can then Mask. Ditch away the 100 wins. The card we want to name is either Flood of Force or Rushing River. You do Rushing River. Now, you could also sneak one more tiger in there, but we'd have to use the Tearing Shuko. The new tiger. Deals 1. It activates the Break Tide. We don't need that just yet. Then we Break Tide. If you did also use the 2 tigers, you could use the Blood Scent to pay for the mask. But in terms of an opener, 9 damage off over 4 cards is kind of nice. Again, you wouldn't do this turn 1, because then, you know, they'd be able to block and not really care about their hand. But then also off Break Tide, what do we hit? We hit an instant, that's interesting. Is Break Tide not combo? Where is it? Yeah. Banish top card of your deck until the end of the turn. Oh my god, that's actually fantastic. Break Tide's actually a lot better. I sure can. Yeah, so then we could also Chi. We draw and cycle. You could cycle the Crouching Tiger in this scenario. So if we Breeze Riders, we could have actually also Tiger Swiped here. And if you Breeze Riders, you could almost play anything you get off the top of the deck. So yeah, Break Tide's definitely really nice for an opening. We will just put the chest in the maybe pile. So if you do get the chest, then I do think cash-in is definitely more viable. Will be deck link. There you go. Basically what we like to see, if there's always a path with your opening hand, which there is, which is nice, right? It's the same sort of thing. Predatory, Break Tide. Yeah, so the 100 wins are definitely much better once you get the shifting wins. You probably just cycle away the Remembrance, thinking about it. And then stash the Predatory. And then play out their turn. We got Raw, so it's actually a lot better. We can block. No worries, Colby. Yeah, I'm always up for some games whenever I'm online. Or doing really whatever, right? Start with my goal in mind. It's super flexible. More enjoyable, right? Fab is the ultimate community game in my eyes. Be enjoyed as such. But anyway, thanks for hanging out. So, yeah, now Predatory comes in clutch. So we can do Predatory. We can do Raw. It's probably still the Break Tide. Right, so it'd be... Technically, you don't have to swing and I can keep my hand size. It'd be a Crouching Tiger. Technically, you should also play the one from Arsenal. Then we could Blood Sense. And Mask. Giving the next card Rushing River. It is the next card, right? Yeah, next action card you play. Activate the Breeze. Activate the Tearing Shuko. Play another Tiger. Then play Break Tide. Get the card off the top of the deck. It is Shifting Winds, which actually does work. Then we can Shifting Winds. We lose 1 of the 100 wins. That's a bit unfortunate. We're 1 resource short. We can do that. And then we're able to Tiger. Name it 100 wins. Name it 100 wins. And then play 100 wins. So 18. That's kind of nice. Yeah. Definitely nice. Still not the max damage, though. Ooh. This is almost 12 as well. Usually when I get off. I do want to get this to work. You know what? We'll do it one more time. Go on the maybe. I'm gonna give myself the cards once more. And we will just see what the max damage is. Which actually with Break Tide we could kind of make it bigger. And technically with Red 100 wins. Private. Open class extracted. Do that. This over here. Apparently Talshare did not want to come over with, or stay I should say. Okay, let's pull this off once before we end off. So I'll turn manual mode on and I'll give myself all the cards. Now you know what, I can give myself them in the order we'd actually play them. It's a bit more annoying. Makes it a bit better. So it'd be cash out first, so Everfest. 158. Off of that, you'd be able to transcend now. So, what would it be? What would be the throwaway, the homage? Missed 96. Wonder if I have to capitalize. Right, and then probably just 2 cash-ins would be good enough. We have through 188. So you're doing that, you go -1, but then you go +2, so we'd have 5 more cards in hand. Right, so we'd have the Chi and then other stuff to play. We've got the 1 resource. So you'd probably Zen at that point. Which is a bit annoying because we can't actually represent Zen. I can't put a card to my Banish Zone and play it. Then you'd be able to Art of War off of Zen. That is Arc 160. More importantly, this would spend the resource you generated off of Transcending. That's that step. Then you'd probably want more Chi cards as well anyway. So we'll go with Preserve. Turned on caps lock and I'm still just forgetting. And stir the pot, because that really wouldn't matter. Plus, playing them in conjunction is something I always like to do. Right, because it gets whatever you put back off the bottom. The 101. Of that, you would have generated 2 resources, meaning that you'd probably want the Art of War raw sequence. It again. Alright, so that's 1 combo. You generate the Crouching Tiger, you banish the Crouching Tiger, you do it again. Where do we go from there? So we played all Art of Wars, we still have 1 cash-in available, so we'll just throw the cash in. We've generated 2 resources, we've spent the 2 resources, we have the Chi. So actually no, the right thing now would be the Shifting Winds. And a cash in. It would be MST 052. And technically you'd be able to play them all, because you'd be floating Chi. So you'd want to play 2 of them, and then the other tome, the Mystic Tome. And off that, you'd probably get another cash in. We are making this somewhat variable as well, which is a little bit better, right? The fact that, you know, they're interchangeable means the combo is a little bit more actually plausible. Still going to be high rolly, but definitely plausible. We get Klloo, get the last Shifting Winds. Missed 52. Okay, so what have I missed? The Tiger Swipes and the 100 Winds. Other than that, everything else is played. The Sacred Art, actually. Go 53. All 3 Art of Wars done. All 3 cash-ins done. All 3 Shifting Winds done. They're the main combo elements. All 3 Raws done? No, we're still missing 1 Raw. And then it'll just be Tiger Swipe 100 Wins. That's all we gotta do. $47. Then the 100 Wins. 43. I'm in Dynasty. What do I just give myself? Withstand, God. I don't think Undo resets the manual. Nope, it does not. Yeah, so a way to get rid of this out of my hand would be fantastic, because now this looks really weird. Is there a card that makes you delete a card? No. Alright, so I've got to type Everfest. So we'll ignore them. That should be the combo. Alright, and we can sort of count it out. So, from the draw, 2. Well, that's our opening answer, 2. 1, 2. Then another cash in, 1, 2. Then an Art of War, 1, 2. Then another Art of War, 1, 2. Then another Art of War, 1, 2. Then the Tome, 1, 2, 3. Then the cash in, 1, 2. So the draw does not work out? Is that what this is telling me? Oh, there you go. The 4 cards. Cash in, Art of War, Art of War, Art of War. Then Tome, 1, 2, 3. Then cash in, 1, 2. Yeah, what have I missed? Ah. There is a limit to it. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 13, 15. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Interesting. Okay, so it's not going to work out how I'm thinking then. Even with the silver from cash in, we can only get this far with the Tiger Swipe. What draw am I missing? That's the question then. I'm sure I theory crafted this appropriately. Things actually draw aren't actually cycling. Good run Tome and Boots, I suppose. Tooth and Claw would be the thing to add for damage. But I guess you can't. Preserve Tradition into another cash-in would get us 2 cards further. So at best, right, we can only play 3 cards, and it's whether or not Tiger Swipe or 100 Wins is more damage, and obviously Tiger Swipe is more damage. Question is, how many Tigers would we end up with? 1... Should end up with 7. Right, the 3 Shifting Winds, which I think are definitely worth it because of the Scratch Die. I suppose you only need 1 Shifting Winds. That's also where I'm going a bit awry. So you change 2 of the Shifting Winds for Predatory Strikes, which would lead to extra Tigers. This isn't actually the best setup. Alright, I need to rethink this. I mean, I still like the idea of 100 Wins, but I didn't count it out correctly. So where's the... Oh, they're in the maybe. Put that in the inventory. G-wise, we have 3. 3, so that's 2, 3, and 4 G cards should be fine. Homage, preserve that instead of the pots. That can go to the inventory, that can go to the inventory. Draws and Art of Wars cancel each other out. Cash in and cash out. You start with the gold, you get the crown. You'd have to take Tome. And a Mage Master. And then you only want 1 Shifting Winds. Because we'd rather run Predatory. One of the Tiger Swipes is being banished, that's fine. So this should be the theoretical max damage, I think. I don't get to do 100 win shenanigans, which means you don't really need the shifting. With 2 Crouching Tigers, I don't think it makes it useful. I feel like it's still 100 wins. Instead of the Predatories. I have to think about this again. We have 6, 12, 14, 17 draw now. Right? 17 draw. So 17 plus the 4. Brings us to 21 plus the banish. Brings us to 22. So we're still 4 cards over. Weirdly. You count that out, right? 6, 12, 14, 17. Yeah, just 17. Technically, though, 17, you can get to 19, because you can preserve 1 cash in back. 19 plus 4, still only 23. We're gonna have to give this a lot more thought, actually. But I do want to see what the absolute max damage that Zen could do is. And it's probably pushing it with the 100 wins. Maybe it's just Tiger Swipe over and over again. But 100 wins to me is sort of the clincher, because it's just each other 100 wins on the chain. So you don't actually have to, you know, land Tiger Swipe to get Tigers back over and over again, because that's where the weak point in the combo would be. But I think we'll leave it there. I am working on 3-ish for everyone. Hopefully I can show up soon. But anyway, anyone hanging around, hope you enjoyed. Anyone watching posts, same to you. Usually go from, was it, well, I don't think there's a reason, right? It's 10 a.m. AEST, Australian Eastern Standard Time, to 12, right, to my lunchtime, which is random time because I'm also in a part that doesn't do daylight saving, so fun. Anyway, I'm off.